So with Spider-Man Brand New Day coming out in just a few days, this December it will have been 5 years since the release of Spider-Man No Way Home. And I remember the insane hype for that. I didn't even have a phone at the time, so every day I would go on my computer from like 2020 to the release of the movie. I'd look for any update, any new trailer, any leaks for the movie, any new update, any new footage. I'd just gobble it up. And the movie did not disappoint. In this video, I want to go back and rewatch the movie and revisit the hype. But I want to see, is the movie actually good after the hype? It's been almost 5 years. I'll just say 5 years, because we're closer to 5 years than 4 years. After the hype, after the, ooh, I wonder if Toby and Andrew were going to show up, after all the time I spent drawing Spider-Man, after all the discussions I had with my friends, after everything has settled, is it a good movie? Absolutely. Also, I don't know what I mean about after the hype, I'm not still gonna be hyped watching this. When I clicked on the movie and the first thing I see is this image, I got a little hyped. I remember being in the theater and just being like, this moment doesn't feel real, oh my god. Just hearing this, opening again. So, let's hit play on revisiting Spider-Man No Way Home. It's a brand new day. Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home is still peak 5 years later. This video will sound a little bit nitpicky, but it's really because I didn't find many flaws with it. The moments of fan service are still hype. Well, yes, it is obvious fan service. It's fun. It's a Spider-Man movie. Now, it's not a perfect movie, but I think most of the flaws are actually in the first act. Sometimes it feels like things are a little bit too easy for Peter. Like, Doctor Strange just so happens to have the perfect spell for the situation, and he just so happens to let him do it. It just so happens that the MIT lady reconsiders Ned and MJ because Spider-Man saves her life on the bridge, which isn't even that bad when you think about it. Doctor Strange just so happens to have the perfect thing to capture and contain all of these villains. Or even later, Ned just so happens to have the ability to do magic. Just so happens to move his hands in a certain way that opens portals to Toby and Andrew Spider-Man. And really, it's the rules of the multiversal traveling that kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's villains throughout the multiverse who happen to know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, such as Willem Dafoe Green Goblin, Doc Ock, the Lizard, Sandman, and Electro, except Electro doesn't actually know Peter Parker was Spider-Man. He even says it to Andrew Spider-Man in the movie. He figured he'd be black, which is the movie outright admitting that he doesn't know that he's Peter Parker. Also, I don't know what the deal with them bringing in 5 instead of 6 villains was. That's kind of a strange decision to me because obviously the Sinister Six is a big thing in the comics. They also just happen to be the only villains that come through, as well as Toby and Andrew Spider-Man just happen to be the only Spider-Man that come through. The spell also affects Tom Hardy Venom, even though he doesn't know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, because there's no Peter Parker in his world. Except on the TV screen in Venom 2, he recognizes Peter Parker in the post-credit scene. Except that goes absolutely nowhere because he's not even in the movie until this movie's post-credit scene, which he's just in a bar and then he gets teleported back home, so that whole thing was pointless. Why does it bring in this set of villains and not, Topher Grace Venom? Or the Rhino, or Dane DeHaan Green Goblin? Or even James Franco Green Goblin? To the movie's credit, Venom is not their fault. That was the decision of Venom 2 to bring him into the MCU. This movie just had the unfortunate responsibility of dealing with that plotline. Same with the Morbius movie stealing Vulture. It's not this movie's fault. It's really the amount of heroes and villains that are brought in that doesn't really make much sense. It just kind of feels like the filmmakers giving us an easier way to get what we all want. So I guess it's not too bad, and can you really blame them? Alright, now we're gonna get into the stuff I actually really love about this movie. First thing I want to mention that I actually forgot is that it feels like a lived-in world. Yeah, of course he would go to Doctor Strange for help. Yeah, of course he would hire Matt Murdock to help him. And that's the benefit of having Spider-Man in the MCU. It feels like a comic book. the perfect end to a movie and absolutely sets up Brand New Day flawlessly, especially with that beautiful suit. I know the Brand New Day suit is like ever so slightly different, but it really is just like a less glossy version of that one. It's the same thing. I know people like to hate on John Watts' trilogy, but when it comes to Spider-Man Brand New Day, don't you owe good old Johnny Watts a little bit? This movie, and especially the ending, flawlessly show us what great power comes great responsibility really means. Tobey and Andrew's inclusions, by what some people think, actually have plot relevance. It's not just fun fan-servicey cameos. They teach Tom Holland Peter actual lessons, and he would have been killed by the villains in the third act if it wasn't for them. In fact, if it wasn't for them, he would have killed Green Goblin and been corrupt. It would have ruined his life. Tobey Maguire's arc is already complete, and he serves as an older, wiser Peter to help not only Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but also Andrew Garfield's. If you think about it, Andrew Garfield has a character arc in this movie. And really realizing that on this rewatch, it's made me love the movie all over again, because it acts almost as a mini Amazing Spider-Man 3. We're never getting that movie, but it's like closure. When he first appears, we see after Gwen died, he got rageful, he got bitter.
Try to keep going, try to keep being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, because I know that's what she would have wanted, but at some point I stopped pulling my punches. I got rageful. I got bitter.
And he's been neglecting himself as Peter Parker.
I got no time for Peter Parker stuff, you know?
And he thinks he's lame.
I fought a Russian... I'm lame I fought a Russian guy in a rhinoceros machine.
With an older, wiser Tobey Maguire Spider-Man guiding him, he bonds with these other Spider-Man, and he's even given a second chance to save MJ from falling off the Statue of Liberty. These versions of Spider-Man and the villains feel exactly like they did in the movies that we last saw them. Because I think I'm gonna make more than one of this kind of video, I suppose there needs to be a grading scale. And simply, after the hype, is it better, worse, or the same? So, 5 years after the hype, while there are some plot holes and spotty CGI, there's also new things with characters that you're just now realizing. It's got things that make me want to say it's better than you remember, and things that make me want to say it's worse than you remember, so I think the things that say it's better than you remember are a little bit higher. So I say it's the same as when you first saw it, but I'm leaning towards better. I don't know, it was pretty hype when it came out. Spider-Man No Way Home is just as good after the hype. As for the next one of these, I'm kind of thinking about DP and W. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. And the last thing to do is enjoy Brand New Day. So, I will see you then. Bye.